Okay, on the vein of this topic statement of trying to get you out of your own way, let me go over here while I'm still down at sentence by sentence level, a couple things that will kill creative sentence by sentence. Okay, now this one for this video, just get a grip on your chair, and that is grammar. If you are typing with your grammar checker turned on, you're making a gigantic mistake. Because no character, just like no human, ever talks in perfect grammar. We don't act in perfect grammar. We don't think in perfect grammar. Nothing is in perfect grammar. The Chicago Book of Style and other grammar books like that are fantastic for nonfiction and for certain types of essays. But for fiction, this is fiction. You need to get that grammar checker turned off and never ever worry about it again. Never worry about a grammatically perfect sentence. Nobody cares. And if you do, then suddenly your writing will sound just like everybody else's who's following the Chicago Book of Style. No character, no human, and no writer that's a professional writer writes with perfectly grammatical sentences. We just don't. Sorry. Get over it. There, a whole bunch of non-grammatical correctness there. However, this does not mean that we don't want clean manuscripts, or we don't want words spelled correctly, or we don't want a copy editor. Okay, for some reason, when people say, oh, you shouldn't write in grammatically correct sentences, they automatically add all that other crap in. No, you do your best you can with the mistakes and the typos, and you make sure you have a good copy editor, whether you're going to India or whether there's a good copy editor in New York, which is always a real guesstimate. You make sure that that's all done. But grammar, if you write perfect Chicago Book of Style fiction, oh my God, you're going to sound just like everybody else. You're going to all this other stuff we've been talking about. Look at the Spillane. I'll wager there's a whole bunch of non-grammatically correct or grammatically incorrect sentences in that thing. Oh boy. That's the nature of writing. That's the nature of originality. Part of becoming an original writer is to, early on, we all learned the rules. Good, you got them. You got the rules of grammar. Shut it off. Shut it off. And if you're leaving your spell checker on, that means some computer programmer somewhere has given you grammar rules. Oh my God. I mean, it's just mind-boggling that writers follow that stuff. And it's only been in the last few years, in the last 10, 15 years since the computers have had these grammar checkers and all this, that this has even become a problem. And one of the things that's happened is more and more writers are writing stilted. You can see stilted as easily as you can see run through rewriting 47 times. Because that something that's been run through rewriting 47 times is there's just not an ounce of originality in it, and the author voice is gone because that's all the boring stuff that the author thinks is boring because they can't recognize their own author voice, and all this other stuff we've talked about. Well, guess what's another one here that will make your manuscript sound like everything else and sound stilted? Grammar. Perfect grammar. Unless you've got a character who is from England and is speaking in the Queen's English grammatically always correctly, great. But you read that story of mine back up here, the story of the dinner on a flying saucer. Okay. Now imagine if I'd have made that perfectly grammatically correct. How stupid would that have sounded? It never would have sold, number one. And it would have been so wrong that the readers would have gone, what? And not even bothered to read it. Not a lot of grammatically correct sentences in that story. Not counting spelling issues, which are called, things like accent. That's just the nature of this beast. So, the next thing on this theme of these first 2 weeks to try to get you out of your way of yourself, to get to originality on a sentence-by-sentence level. The only way we can teach this is to just get you out of your own way. Now, one of them is perfect grammar. If you have something here that believes that every sentence you write in a fiction story needs to be grammatically perfect, and you're writing with your grammar checker turned on, I've just helped you a lot. Turn the thing off, stop checking it, stop worrying about it, and you'll already make a turn up towards getting to your own art and your own originality by simply doing this one little thing.